how to give space to beats. So this is something that I really like to do in my productions, and it's something that I really enjoy doing, which is something really cool that helps me to give some space to the tracks. And one of those things, let's go ahead. Let me bring some loops. I have a couple of sample packs here that we can use that will help us get some loops going on fast. So let's bring all these loops here so that we can have a quick beat instead of me doing an entire. I forgot this is. I have here the loop. Let's bring the piano, and okay. So this is the beat. Let me take out the hi-hats and let me take the kick. And let's bring this to the mixer. And let's put this 1, 2, and 3. And let's bring this down a little bit. Okay, so we have a beat here. Simple beat. What I usually like to do, and this goes also with the question of how to route channels in the mixer. So let's say that I want this as my mix or my beat. What I do is I take all my channels, I route them to the track. Let's route to this track only. And now I have everything into this mix channel. And then I like to do something something that I call the auxiliary reverb. And I like to do this because it really gives some space to the track. So sometimes when you are producing and you're putting snares, the snares sound very clean and very dry. And I like to give it some effects to put the track in some space, let's say. And to do that, I go here and I start adding, for instance, in this one, let's call this auxiliary reverb. And let's bring a filter. One of the things that I like to do is bring a filter for applying some high pass filter like that. So I don't want any low end in my auxiliary reverb. And then one of the plugins that I really love to do this is the IRL Full Stereo. And as you will see, as soon as this loads, this will give me a bunch of places. So I have here, and this plugin is a convolution plugin. And a convolution plugin basically just gives you some wave files that you load into the plugin, and this will put convolution into the the process is called convolution. It's a little bit technical and I don't want to go into it, but it's one of the best ways to do reverbs, and in my opinion, of course. But as you can see, we have some arenas, auditoriums, churches. So let's say that I want to put this track like it was playing in a church. I'll go here, let's do the Centron Church, like that. And now let's listen. And now we can start applying a little bit of volume into the auxiliary reverb, and you will start to feel that the sound is coming out of a church or is playing in a church. So this is, of course, a little bit too much. But it's just to show you the idea of how to add space to your sounds or to your tracks. One of the ways that I like to do is using some auxiliary reverb. So let's try a different one, and let's go, for instance, a concert hall. Let's go this big hall. As you can see, automatically it puts you in a different environment. Let's go, for instance, just another one. Maybe let's go to a club. And let's go High Moon Salon. I don't know this club, but might be cool. As you can see, with changing this type of sounds or this type of environments with this convolution reverb, we can do something like that. If you don't have ERL full stereo, you can also do this with the Reverb Fruity Convolver. And let's go here, and as you can see, we have chambers, we have corridors, let's see what else we have, guitar cabins, real spaces. Let's see here, we have a cave. Let's use this one, might be cool. And let's take the dry, let's use just the wetness. That's cool. Let's see something else. We have some halls here, reverb devices, small rooms. Let's go into a small room. Let's see. Empty the way. I don't know, this one. Let's take the auxiliary reverb. Okay, let's see another one just to give you a big difference. Maybe a big hall, something like that. Let's see, large hall, and you will see the difference. So this is one of the ways that I really like to use to give some space to my tracks. And I use this in every single track. There's no track that I produce that doesn't have an auxiliary reverb, because this just makes it so that, this just makes it the track sound way more interesting, and it can really make your track, believe me, I made beats in the past where I would do the beat and I would like the beat, and whenever I would do some auxiliary reverb, the beat will go to it would make so much sense in the track, and the track would become alive. And that's something that if you see the technical side of it, everything that you reproduce, except if you are listening only with headphones. But for instance, let's say you are outside in anywhere and you have your cell phones or your speakers, you always have reflections. You always have everything. The sound doesn't go only into your ear and that's it. You always have reflections on the walls, on the floors, on other people, or objects. And using this process of adding an auxiliary reverb can really make your track feel natural. So I use it in all my tracks so that they feel natural and they feel that they belong to something, that brings you to a place where even sometimes it's just not too much noticeable, and you might not say, oh, that's a large hall or that's a arena or something like that, but it kind of transpose you to that feeling, to that place. And that's why I really like to do this.